Salut sacred souls, it is Sabria Manay, the Sirian Mermaid, and welcome back to the channel. And in this episode, in this video, I have a very important message for you. This is one that is coming full circle for me as a Cancer stellium. It is the Cancer full moon just passed, so this is a very big time for me as a Cancerian, especially like intuition on the all-time high and everything like that. So yeah, I was just hearing that we need to feel it to heal it. Okay, so anything that you're processing and we're moving through this new thread of energy, a lot of things are being uprooted, a lot of cleansing by the earth and the pain and the trauma and the wounds of our ancestors and just all that we've coursed throughout history into this now present moment. I think it's time for us to stop and think about not just our karma that we're clearing, that things that we're healing, people we're releasing, past versions of ourselves that we're releasing, that those people reflected back to us, right? In different ways, shapes, and forms. I feel as though not just on an individual level, but also on an ancestral, like intergenerational level, there is a massive karmic clearing and release that is taking place on Earth at this time. A lot of starseeds and my ear getting that tingle. A lot of us have incarnated here to kind of make that bring in the change, and it requires a new version of us. It requires us to sit with all the feelings, the emotion, the pain, the shame, the guilt, the hurt, the joy, the sadness, the ecstasy, the just the fullness of it all. Just sit with it for a minute and let it course through you. Let it find its way out of your body. And once that release, because so much is being unearthed, right? And what's going on with the weather and in the world as we watch and we pay attention to the signs. Everything is a reflection and it reverberates to the different levels. So the earth, the galaxy, the universe is a macrocosmic reflection or emanation of our soul. If you look at the pattern of nature, I think they call it the Fibonacci sequence or something of the sort. It repeats itself in like spirals. Like one of the original numbers was 6, in the beginning, represents beginnings, and then that 9 is that reverse, and that represents completion. But that's so funny. On the clock it was 3:39, which is 6 and 9, and it's really interesting to see how creation is so beautiful and intimate and intricate, and the ebbs and flows, and how we're part of this all. We're part of this big picture. We are the big picture. We're part of this, and we're important in this matter. So you and your emotion in this moment is significant, because you're playing a role here on Earth to transmute a lot of things that we're getting ready to clear. And you may feel fresh and new, just right? But through that, there's also a sense of an emptiness, right? Where you're going through this stuff, you're transmuting it, and now you're sitting in this void. Like, I feel empty. But guess what? A lot of things we take on in our lives won't let us sit with the void, because we're looking for some external material something else, instead of the self. But what's funny is when we seek other, we're looking for God in other people. We're looking for grace. We're looking for hope. We're looking for love. And those things are intrinsic to your soul. So you don't have to. My finger is tingling a lot. My right finger, like the right side of my body. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, God. it's tingling. That's so interesting. But yeah, I get all these little pings and stuff. But it's time for you to step into your gifts and know what they are, okay? This was a transmission. I'm not shuffling in this recording. This is a reading, okay, of the energy of this time, but it's something that I was just guided for this specific transmission to just speak. Just let the channeling unfold. And I trust what is happening right now. I trust all the pain. I mean, it was such a great teacher for me, and I'm sure it is for you. And I think it's time where you're coming to a fullness, where you're full with it and you're ready to just let it go. Just let it go. It's done. 555 on the recording timer. Okay? It's just done. This is a new beginning for you, and 555 sums up to 15 and 1 and 5 reduced to 6, which is progression, the beginning, as we just talked about. 6, a new beginning, okay, in this sort of cycle for you. So you're progressing, you're moving forward through this purging, and we're in the year of 9, 2025 is 9, which represents fulfillment and mastery. It's a coming of age, in a sense, like a coming into self. You could be going through your Saturn return at this time. You could be approaching your Saturn return, like getting just closer and closer to your Saturn return. For many of you, it's your first Saturn return. For many of you, for some of you, it could be your second Saturn return coming up as well. But I say this because there's a lot being cleared. There's a lot coursing through our bodies, so we have to show ourselves grace as we're all of this cosmic, spiritual, like intergenerational work is being done, okay, on like a higher dimensional level that we may not perceive or directly interact with in our 3D physical material dimensional world. You know, so it's like what is happening when we sleep. There's more transmutational work. There's our guides, our angels, our ancestors are at play here in this spiritual plane and helping to facilitate a lot of the new beginnings and helping us to release from the endings, and also collaborating and coordinating with other people's guides. You know, our guides work together, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't, child, but we're manifesting more of that synchronicity, more of that connection, more of that puzzle pieces fitting and just kind of syncing up so beautifully together that it's just so divine, and it's just that perfect timing, right? Because there's no better timing. And so this is that time. You're being called to sit with the void, because in the darkness, you know, we don't always know what's there when we're forced to sit and feel and just be still. But you know, in the Holy Quran, Allah says to calm our voices and quiet our minds so that we can hear the voice of Allah. We can hear the voice of God, you know, of the Most High. So a lot of times it's like we're just all the chaos of life, you know, the lights, the camera, the action, you know, social media, texts, calls, demands of the day, work, you know, the clock in, the clock out, the business, the scheduled meetings, appointments, the flights, you know, just the order of the day for many of us. And sometimes we get lost in the sauce, and then we think, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I'm feeling fried. Fried, you know, like our brains. What do we do? Where do we go? Because that guidance is found in the stillness. That's why we have to be so intentional about carving that time for ourselves during every single week. I have a day that I just take for me. And I have to be more mindful and intentional, because every week isn't like a perfect, oh my goodness, like everything went my way, so to speak. There has to be a level of surrender. So I'm embracing that too. When I don't get that perfect still moment, well, I will still find time. There is still time to carve out a moment in every day as well. So just trust what's happening in this time. And try to allow it and surrender into it, because it actually, there's a lot of good that comes with this. Things that you feel being pulled away from you and you can't go there anymore, those doors are closed. It's because they're done. The contract's expired. There's nothing more. You know, it's like, it's so funny because I was just talking to my beloved soulmate sis, my sister, my beautiful soulmate. I was just talking to her about this earlier. It's like a lot of times when a cycle is done for us, it's like opening the fridge and there's no food, right? And then we just keep opening the same fridge door, and it's like, maybe if I come back 10 minutes later, maybe food will be in here. And it's like, no. The same lack of food or whatever's in there is going to be there. Nothing has changed. There's not going to be a new ensemble of produce and whatever you like to eat and drink and snack on from this fridge. There's nothing more here. You've gotten what you needed to get to be full with the tools for the next door to be open. That was you opening that door in that fridge. There was something for you there, sure, yes, for a time. But now when there's nothing more, we can't delude ourselves into the mindset that there's something there, that maybe God was wrong. Maybe my higher self was wrong. No, it's not wrong. That's what the tension is, because it's being ready to be released. And the more we push against it, the more friction we feel, and then the pain comes with that friction, and that is our greatest teacher. And that is what pushes us to change, and that's what we're on the horizon of now. If we won't make the changes, the changes will be made, because hey, it's divine timing that the changes are made. So we gotta cricky, we gotta get this show on the road. I say that all the time. If y'all know what I mean, y'all know what movie I'm talking about. Tap in. But yeah, so there's new doors. They're pretty, they're shiny, they're glittery, they're glossy, they're sparkly. They're just a lot of new doors. It's not the same old thing with the lock is broken off, and everything you've gotten from this refrigerator has nourished you to transmute that into something that is a new key for a new fridge. if that makes any sense. 12:22 on the clock. My guides told me it's time. That is the 411, the 1:01 a.m. It's showing me on here. So thank you so much, Soul Tribe, for tuning into another transmission, another reading. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my link to my store is down below in the description box and in my bio. So feel free to give me a little visit there and see all of my exclusive reading listings. You could schedule directly on the site a time to do a one-on-one call with me, and we can get into all your questions. Or you could do a reading where I'll go ahead and do a pre-recording, like I'll record the video and I'll send you your reading within a certain allotted amount of time. So feel free to check me out, message me, email me with all the information down below if you have any questions. And I look forward to connecting with you further. Peace, love, and light. Je t'aime et à la prochaine.